Hello everybody and welcome to this week's Markets to Watch from Smack the Markets for week commencing the 10th of May. So as we move into a new week, again we've got rather interesting markets here with big decisions over them and big question marks over them. The US dollar had a big sell-off late last week on the back of those disappointing non-farm payroll numbers. By any accounts from a technical perspective, it does look due some sort of retracement, but having said that, we're seeing continued dollar weakness in early trade this week too. That same disappointing numbers from non-farm payrolls fueled the anticipation of further stimulus for the equity markets, pushing the Dow and the S&Ps onto all-time highs, and they're looking rather stretched at the moment. Having said that, we've also got commodity prices which are clearly in vogue at the moment. So let's take a look at a few markets here and some potential opportunities we're keeping an eye on at the beginning of this week. So if we come across to silver at the moment, silver prices again have had very good move last week. We've been discussing opportunities here and looking at opportunities taking the market from the $26 level up to that $28 level, and the market's fast approaching 28 at the moment. So what now as that price point starts to get hit? Certainly we've got nice supported long trends across the board here on these markets. If anything, silver is looking rather extended at this moment in time. If we have a look at this on the slightly lower time frame of the 4-hour time frame, you can see the $28 price point here, and we can see that in early trade this week we're already starting to see a bit of weakness, although being in the context of the trend. So personally what we'd prefer to do here is only look at intraday opportunities for trading up towards 28, but looking at new swing plays once the market has got above here, because getting above this level does open this up for a bit more of a trading window up to around that sort of 29.5. We've got another price point here where we may well pick up a little bit of resistance, which is around 28.5, but there's some fairly decent size moves and trading windows to the long side. So again, the sort of thing that I'd prefer to see here is waiting for the market to break through 28 and then having some sort of pullback and rejection off that area. Now we know that these big price points, these big levels and big numbers tend to get tested many times, and you just come back to that $26 price point and look how many times the market tested and retested that level, just trying to double check that that area was now going to be support before the market sort of moved on, and we might expect at least some sort of reaction similar to that around this 28 price point. So if we come over to the index markets, again the Dow, the S&Ps, they've had extremely good runs over the late trading last week, and you can see here the Dow sort of pushing on to again all-time highs. The S&Ps again pushing on to all-time highs. The Nasdaq being again pulled up by the other two, but not quite breaking out to all-time highs. And there's certainly quite an element of rotation taking place in these sort of tech stocks at the moment. So coming back to the Dow, the sort of thing that we'd be looking for here is, again, at this moment in time, the price markets and the trend structures are still looking very long. Having said that, they are looking rather extended, so some sort of retracement is the sort of thing that we're looking for. Looking for some sort of area possibly back into sort of fair value. That sort of 34,500 area is certainly an area that is looking rather nice for some sort of reasonable retracement. So very much intraday plays on these markets at the moment for us, and again looking for a little bit of weakness coming in and some sort of retracement back to sort of fair value. Now coming over to currency markets, one of the here that is our pick is the Aussie dollar. Now the Aussie has gained quite a bit of strength recently since the market has sort of broken out of this sort of 77,500 level. We have a look at this on the daily time frame. You can see that the market's now sort of clearly broken out of this sort of region, and trend structures starting to form quite nicely. So we've got to be prepared that there could be a bit of a pullback on here, but in the context of a new trend, and we're looking for prices to stay pressured to the high side across the Aussie markets. The Aussie dollar is going to benefit from the weakness in the US dollar. So if we see continued weakness in dollar related markets, then the Aussie is likely to benefit from that. You can see here on the 4-hour time frame that again we've got quite an extended move, some sort of retracement back up into these sorts of levels. And again, if I zoom right the way out, you'll see that there's key support through here that the market sort of tested a few times. So at least some sort of pullback into this sort of area could be an area to look for support opportunities and possibly long positions. Similar, if we have a look at Aussie yen. Now Aussie yen is benefiting from the strength in the Aussie, but also the weakness in the yen as well. So again, Aussie yen has recently broken out of this sort of 85 sort of area here. You can see that the sort of 84.50 price point was the sort of breakout point. The market's sort of advancing here. This is the weekly chart, so you can see this is on a macro perspective at the moment, really sort of opening up a move, well, a trading window potentially up towards that 90 price point. So again, if we come down to the lower time frames, the daily, again looking sort of very bullish here. Again, we've got strong momentum on these markets. They could be doing some sort of retracement back into 85, but if this market continues to show this amount of strength, then I'd be surprised if we get that sort of retracement at this moment in time. Come down to the lower time frames. This is the 4-hour time frame. Again, you can see that we've got some very powerful trends starting to form here. So retracements back into value areas, looking for momentum setups, and that's the sort of thing that we would look for on these free-flowing trends on the Aussie markets. And the lower time frames are looking and demonstrating some nice market geometry at the moment too. So there's a few markets there that we're keeping a close eye on going into the beginning of this week. I certainly hope it helps and look forward to speaking to you next time. Bye for now.